Hold on, let me turn off the final sprint banner. That'd be good. Hello, friends. We're having technical difficulties. Hello. Welcome to 24-hour sprints for April. So sorry, I'm a few minutes late. We had to get dinner, so it's just what it is. How are we? I have Amy with me. I think I might have some other friends that join. The lineup looks a little different this month. That is the correct lineup. It's just how it worked out. So it's fine. Hello. How are we? I hope everyone is well. How are you, Amy?
I'm good. Good.
What
I'm tired. I don't know how long I'm going to last with this one because I have to be on the next one. So,
that's fair.
But I always like being in at the beginning of the 24-hour fun.
And we love to have you, honestly. But yes, that is fair since you are doing a late night shift this time. Are you reading? What are you doing? Or a later night shift?
Yeah. I was going to say, it's only until like 1 a.m. my time. Or is it 2? I think it's 2 a.m. my time.
It's 2 a.m. our time.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
yeah.
I'm usually still up at that time, so it should be fine. I've had no voice for like 2 weeks, and so we're going to see how it goes, I'm reading Book Lovers finally, so.
I hope that you're loving it. I'm
not very far. The dentist only let me get 6 pages in.
Listen, I love Emily Henry, as people know. Brittany really wants me to do, a couple years ago, Brittany did like a Ali Hazelwood like tier ranking. And ever since she did that, she's been bothering me to do the Emily Henry one. But I want to read her newest book before I do it because that one just came out.
I just got it.
And I cannot wait to read it, honestly. Here's the thing. Emily Henry's books always come out in hardcover first, and the ones that I own in paperback. So I won't buy Happy Place. Okay, that's my least favorite Emily Henry book. But, well, I mean, I don't want to say I wouldn't buy it just because then I would have the whole backlist. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would never reread it. So I don't know how, like, feasible, like how much sense it makes to buy it. But Funny Story is by far my favorite one. Like, by far. And, like, the concept of it was so different that I wasn't sure I would like it because it's like a roommate's. It's like the trope is so weird because it's like it's the ex-fiance's new fiancés.
Oh, they like switch partners, don't they?
Kind of, yeah. Because basically, like, she gets dumped, right? And then she moves in with her ex's ex.
New girlfriend, isn't okay.
Like, she moves in with her ex's new fiance's ex. They become roommates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, like, so I was like, this is gonna be so stupid. But, like, it actually, like, worked somehow. And I loved that book.
But isn't that what happened, like, in real life with Leanne Rimes and Eddie Cabrini?
I have no idea.
Like, didn't they?
I mean, maybe.
Like, I thought they, like.
It's just such, like, a weird. I don't know. Like, I
think they were the first ones. I don't know.
I had just never heard of that happening, like, in a book. You know? So, like, in my brain, I was like, well, how the hell does that work? But, like, I mean, it worked out. It worked out great.
Right.
But Book Lovers.
I mean, I haven't read it yet. I have it to read, but I haven't.
Book Lovers was the first Emily Henry I ever read. And I was not in my romance era. So I do need you to go into this book understanding that a lot of romance readers don't think of this book as a romance. Because there is a romance to the book. But
it's not all about
this
that.
book really focuses a lot, like, on the sister relationship that's in the book, which is fine. Which was fine for me as, like, a non-romance reader at the time that I read it. But, like, as a romance reader now, I can say like, okay, yeah, I guess. Like there is a romance in it for sure, but it's
Yeah.
not like the main focus. Like you have to kind of like
It's
the
like
dynamic.
Frozen.
Right. And you have to enjoy the dynamic between the two sisters, I feel, to enjoy it. But I am relatively close with my sisters, so that worked for me. Like I like to read like stories about sisters. So
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. So
what am I doing?
I'm really looking forward to it.
What am I
So.
doing today? Oh, I'm gonna probably read Quicksilver. I am obsessed with this book. I can't even tell you. I started this. So technically, I started this book weeks ago. We're not even going to talk about how long ago I originally started this book. Okay, considering I'm only.
I feel like the last time I was on Sprints with you, you were reading that.
Listen, we're not going to talk. Okay, here's the thing. Neva has a really bad habit of like starting 12 books at once because she thinks that her name is Rainy, and then I get overwhelmed and I'm just like, forget it, I'll read nothing. So I've changed my approach.
Amy does that as well.
I've changed my approach to reading. So if you've watched the last 2 weeks, I did the like book and coffee chats on my channel. And they're mini wrap-ups essentially. I literally only talk about the books that I've read for the week. But what I've done is I've set up 2 spinner wheels because everything I do in life has a spinner wheel. And one has all of my audiobooks that I need to read for the month, and one has all of my physical books. So anything that I can't get an audiobook for becomes like a Kindle read, right? So this technically is both. Like I have the option of doing either one. But I have the audio for this, so I'm probably going to listen to the audio tonight so I can play Wildflowers. Have I beat this game twice now? We're not going to talk about that. Did I start over a fresh save on my iPad? Yes, I did. Okay. But anyway, I'm obsessed. Listen, this game brings me so much joy. And to be honest, I didn't get rid of my other saves. So if I wanted to continue playing those, I could. You know, but the main story is just so nice. But this is the one of the books that got picked for this week. So I was like, cool. It's also the last book I need for the next episode of KU Clean Out. So like I need to just read it. But I'm obsessed with this book. Like I don't know what they've put into the pages of this, what kind of crack or whatever. But I'm only on page 48, but like I've read most of this on my Kindle. And if I'm not reading it, I'm thinking about it, you know?
Nice.
Unlike, awesome. I do need to read some more of Gothicana, but unfortunately, this book is having the opposite effect. If I'm not reading it, I don't think about it. About this book. So I need to actually get a hold of Rainy because she is reading this with me. We're buddy reading this. And I'm definitely like a DNF girly, except for when it comes to buddy reads.
Right.
I feel so bad when I'm the one that DNFs a buddy read. But I was thinking about this morning because I did read some of this morning. And I was like, literally, this is a book that I don't even necessarily want to DNF it. That's the thing. It's just like a book that if it just sat, like it could sit on my currently reading for like a year and then I would just forget that it was there until I went through to like clean out my currently reading and was like, oh, I forgot I was reading that book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I'm reading it, like it's not good. Okay. It's not like a well-written book by any stretch. But like when I'm reading it, like the vibe is vibing. But when I'm not reading it,
you're not thinking about it.
I literally, it doesn't even live in my brain if I'm not reading it. So we'll see what happens with that.
I was doing a buddy read with my friend Destiny 2 years ago. I finished the book last year. She finished it when we actually did the buddy read. So, it happens.
Oh, Christina sent the This is the playlist link. I'm so sorry, y'all. It's very confusing. I actually had to look at mine because I'm doing parts 1 and parts 3, and I almost clicked part 3. And that would have been really embarrassing for me. So it's fine. Molly has gone to bed, and I shouldn't be joining a sprint, but here I am anyway. You know what, Molly? It's fine. I watch sprints all the time from my bed.
Yeah.
Like on my phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll play them to like go to sleep. Like if I know that like Brooklyn or someone who's on the opposite side of the world is sprinting, I'll start them. I won't even interact. I'll just play them and go to sleep. And then I'll wake up in the morning and it'll be over. But
yeah.
hi, Sarah.
And, well, I've done it where I've gone to bed, like I've taken a nap during a sprint, and the end of the sprint wakes me up, and it's just the perfect little wake up to my nap.
Right.
Carry on with my life.
Happy 3 years to Sarah on BookTube. I'm also almost to my 3 years. I have a video idea for this. It's going to be, well, I hope it's going to be fun. I don't know. It'll be fun for me, I guess. I can't wait to read First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. Actually, me, Kelsey, Rainey, and Brittany, like last week, I think it was, we watched Sleepless in Seattle because that's what this book is supposed to be based off of, or inspired by. And Rainey had never seen it. I think maybe Kelsey had not seen it also. Like, I think Brittany and I were the only two that had ever seen it. And I'm not even gonna lie, like I've seen it 1,001 times, but it was still like just as good as the first time.
Yeah. My favorite part is when she's played by Gabby Hoffman, but I don't know what her character's name is, but she always talks in IDK, like she talks like text speech, and she is like way ahead of her time, light years ahead of her time.
So
she goes NYC, as in he's in New York City, and her dad's, they're like, what does that mean? And the dad's like, no idea. And she's like,
yeah. I was laughing
rent free in my head.
I was just laughing so hard. Like Ari kept coming upstairs and she was like, Mom, what is so funny? And I was like, listen, please leave me to my 90s rom-com. Thank you. Allie is doing a 24-hour readathon and still has 18 hours to go. So these sprints are going to come in handy. I'm so glad that we could help you out. We do these I didn't do like my whole little spiel, but if you're what? It is way too early for me to not know how to talk. Hello, welcome to 24-Hour Sprints. If you're new here and you've never seen me or my channel before, I am Neva. This is Reading with Neva. And once a month, we do 24-hour sprints. It is literally the most chaotic thing on my channel, okay? We try to read as much as possible, but sometimes we get chatty. This is our way of socializing with each other. And
some of us, this is the only time we see each other all month.
Right. And like we have a good time over here, but sometimes these are just a little bit less productive than like our regular reading and productivity sprints, which is why I don't require that people put reading and productivity in the title for 24-hour sprints. We do some reading, of course, because it's 24 hours, but sometimes we get a little chatty. And that's okay. If that's not for you, we understand, and there's no hard feelings. It's all good. But yeah, this is honestly my favorite time of the month. I don't know about anybody else's, but it's truly, I get to see all my friends. So it's so fun. Hello, Glenda. Hello, Kendra. I've been big depressed. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's going to be a dinner sprint, and I'm reading Allegiant, not liking it, but I want to know how she ends. That's fair. Divergent. Listen, the books
I hated the ending of Divergent. I loved it.
Because Divergent was good, but then I felt like it just went downhill.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not a series that like did. It's not like the Hunger Games series where like it was good throughout the whole thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and there are things that you could disagree with, but you still love it.
But like Divergent, I was like, yes, Divergent. And then like you moved on and you were like, okay, well, what was the point?
Yeah.
That was stupid. You should have just made it one book. I didn't even need a series. I could have just left it at one book and been good.
Yep.
Fine.
Yep. Add an extra 100 pages onto Divergent, and that could have been it. Like
also, Kendra, because you sent in questions for me for my updated like Kindle video. I filmed that this week, so it'll be up sometime next week. I just basically did like an updated Kindle video about like having 2 Kindles, but Kendra asked for like Kindle travel tips, which I had never truly thought about until she asked me questions about it, because like to me traveling with my Kindle is second nature. You know what I mean? Like it just gets thrown in my bag and like goes with me. So I did have to like think about it, but I think I gave some good ones. Truly. So I do have that filmed. So my next video that I have to film for the Kindle series is a dark romance starter kit. That video is not for Amy. Okay. Absolutely not. So if I find out Amy read any of the books that I suggested, I'm gonna be like, what are you doing, madam? You're not a dark romance person.
No.
That reminds me, Amy, we need to figure out when we want to read Better Than the Movies. Did you still want to buddy read that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally forgot.
We'll discuss.
But yeah.
I only remembered because I reorganized my TBR cart, and I was like, oh, I need to read this. And I was like, oh wait, Amy said she wanted to buddy read it, and it'll be more fun to buddy read it with Amy. Yeah. So we'll do that. I don't think we've ever buddy read a book together.
We buddy read Verity together.
That's right. Oh, and were you part of the group that did A Man Called Uva?
Uva, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we have buddy read.
But we buddy read Verity together before anybody knew anybody.
We did. I'm so glad you reminded me of that, because I had completely forgotten that we had buddy read Verity.
Yeah.
And we were both.
And I was like, you and Brittany should have a book club. And then all of a sudden you just did. And I started it all. So you're welcome.
It was all Amy. And then Ari named it the Besties Book Club. So look at that. Wow.
Ari and I. See,
we've
the
been
3-letter names.
We've been here on the internet for so long. And this is how you know that these are like true blue friendships. You know what I mean? It was so long.
It was so funny because Monday I was watching. So I had off on Monday. So I was watching Not Enough Spoons for Mondays. And I was like trying to talk to you guys.
I do the same thing.
Guys, and then I'm like, wait, they can't hear me.
Just leave us comments. I go check them usually on Tuesdays, because Brittany is the one she's like in charge of she like runs the actual channel. So I just comment as myself, which is like totally fine. And I just go in on Tuesdays. I actually write it in my planner every Tuesday that when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do after I've like done my reading and have my coffee, because that's part of my morning routine. I don't get on my phone for the first hour of the day. So, nice. But after I read and I do my eat my coffee, absolutely not drink my coffee. I go check the comments on Not Enough Spoons, because I just love having people, and we have like 50 subscribers ish on there now, which is so fun. I just think it's so fun. Yeah. Yes.
And I just wish I had every morning off so I could just sit and watch it.
Well, and the thing is like it definitely works as like we don't hold up a lot of stuff. Sometimes we hold up like books or whatever, but like most of it you could just listen. You don't have to like look at us unless you want to.
Yeah, most of the times I was like off. I like did dishes while I was listening to you guys. Like it was on my TV, but I was just kind of all over the place just listening. There were a couple of times where I had to come back and like you were talking about a book series, and I like was like, I don't remember.
It's fine. Jean said that Leanne Rimes and Eddie started out as an affair.
Yes. So sorry, I didn't finish my thought process. So they actually started as an affair, but I thought their exes got together, but I could be wrong about that. So, but I thought there was some story in Hollywood where there was like two couples and they just kind of switched, but not in like the same exact way. But like,
I mean, they're definitely not.
Tried them?
Yeah, they're definitely not fresh.
Worse than not fresh.
but you know,
Jean said she did not like People on Vacation. Honestly, the People on Vacation was my least favorite before Happy Place. But Happy Place, my problem with Happy Place was like the friends in it. Because I vibed with this book until like 75%, and then I ended up giving it 2 stars.
The friends were like, how can you call these people your best
That's
friends,
what I'm
but
saying.
you're like hiding all this stuff from them?
I'm just saying, who needs enemies with friends like that?
I did like it though. I liked the dynamic between those two and how they like.
Yeah, I mean, I vibed with it.
I liked that, but like I get why people didn't like Happy Place.
Yeah, I vibed with it for what it was until we got to like the reveals of what like the friends knew and didn't know, and then I was like, y'all are asses. Like, I can't even give this a good rating. Jody loved Quicksilver. Honestly, everyone that I know that's read this book, except for I think Kelsey, has loved this book. Kelsey did not like Quicksilver. I don't know what it is about this book that I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like eating it up. Like, I'm just like, you know, maybe I'm a romantic-y girly yet. Maybe. Hello, Lexi. Lexi's reading Enchantra. Is this the one that's after Phantasma? I still need to read Phantasma. We're not going to talk about the books that I still need to read. It's fine. Phantasma will happen at some point because it's on my KU. And I can't offload KU books until I've finished KU books. That's how KU clean out works. Like, I can't just switch them out because I'm terrible at doing that. Jean liked beach read. I was okay that it didn't happen on a Florida beach. I found a lot of complaints were about the lack of beach.
A lot of them were, and it was like there are still beaches on lakes. Like,
listen, I know that people seem to think that like the only acceptable beaches are like ocean beaches, but like there are like the first beach I ever went to was in Massachusetts. Yeah, which like is on the ocean, but like it's not what you think of when you think of a beach.
Yeah. And like I live in Wisconsin. The only beaches I've been to are on Lake Michigan and the river.
That's what I'm saying. Like here, like I'm in Iowa, so like, well, actually, truly, the first beach. I mean, if we really want to narrow it down, like the first beach I was ever on was it was a river beach, like a riverbank.
Yeah.
And I know that's not like what y'all think of as like a beach, but also in my opinion, beach read, like as far as like what a beach read is, that's just like a book you read while you're on vacation. Like, it's not necessarily like you have to be on a beach with a mimosa to like read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
But like there's water, there's sand, and I'm reading a book.
So. Exactly. Sarah said Quicksilver is her favorite book of the year so far. Kingfisher is fine. Listen, I'm just so glad that I'm part of this hype, okay? And I can't wait for the new covers to come out. Like, I'm glad that I got this cover before they discontinued it, because apparently there's some kind of copyright issue with the cover or something, which is why we're getting like the plainer covers that look like they actually look. It's on. I have it like on the inside. Maybe it's not going to show it. Okay, maybe it's just on the ebook. But on the ebook, like when you flip through the ebook, it's actually like on the inside, like what the new covers are going to look like. And I know those are hard covers, but I'm glad I got this cover just because this is like the OG one. I'm a little sad that there won't be like a cover to match it for the second book, but that's okay. I'm going to buy like the special edition or, collector's edition covers too. It's fine. But I don't know what it is about this book. It's got crack in the pages or something. It's crazy. I'm hoping to get to chapter 45 of Iron Flame before bed. I hope you're loving Iron Flame. If you want to know my unadulterated thoughts about the Empyrean series, just know this. I loved book 1 and 2, and book 3 was I'm going to continue, but it wasn't like great. It wasn't like my favorite. Here's the thing, and honestly, Iron Flame I felt was a bit sloggy in parts. Like, it definitely could have been edited down. If it had been edited down, Brittany and I have talked about this. If it had been edited down, Iron Flame would have gotten a higher rating than Fourth Wing. But I just felt like there was too much slog. how did this happen? Considering that I read Fourth Wing in 2024 and I gave it 3 stars. I don't know, but I reread it and gave that mug like 5 stars. So it's fine. It's fine. This is the playlist for my coffee and book chat. If you want to go watch that.
Nice.
They're not like super exciting, y'all. It's just me literally with a cup of coffee and we're just talking about some books. You know what I'm saying? So like if you don't care about that, that's fine. But these will be weekly segments on my channel because they're easy, like one-shot videos for me to shoot. And I actually like doing them this way. So they are going to be coming out on Tuesdays, which means I'm probably going to start filming them on Mondays. I'd been trying to like film them on Tuesday and then upload them on Tuesday, and that was not really working out for me. I was getting them up like later than I wanted to. But they'll come out on Tuesday, like morning, early afternoon, so you can watch them. So
I need to get back to my weekly wrap-ups because it's not like working for me to not do them. I liked doing them. I miss them. But April was a bad month for me. I had no voice most of it, and I had some tooth drama that I didn't want my face on camera for. So
fair. See, I don't find joy in doing big monthly wrap-ups. So this kind of gave me 2 things at once. It gave me a guaranteed weekly sit-down video because with the vlogs this year, I'm just kind of following in Brittany's footsteps and I'm just allowing myself to upload vlogs when they get uploaded because there's just so much back-end crap with a vlog that like you have to piece all the pieces together. You have to make sure you have all the segments. You have to do all the things. And like I love doing vlogs because I feel like that they're a little bit more personal than like a sit down video is sometimes.
You can be a little more creative and throw different parts of your personality in them. Yeah.
Right. But vlogs on the back end are just so much more work. And especially if you're trying, like I'm always working on 2 or 3 at once because I'm not only reading for one vlog usually. Especially for like my series clean out vlogs, I'm reading for more than one vlog because I need a break between each book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just have other things that like I need to read. So there's a lot of just like back end stuff that has to happen with a vlog that makes it sometimes slower to get out. So it gives me a video every week that I know can go up. That's an easy video. It is fun. But it also allows for me to just do a weekly wrap up and be like, these are the books that I read this week. What did you read this week? You know, and it opens. I think it also gives, I guess it gives me 3 things because I guess it also gives like the actual interaction with my community too. Because sometimes with some things like challenge vlogs or even some sit down videos, while there's interaction, it's not the same. And to me, these feel like we're just sitting down chit-chatting about books, and people have really been like coming in the comments and being like, oh my gosh, what awesome books, like I read this week, you know. I get just a lot of interaction on those. I just think it's fun.
Yeah, and it's not like when you have that many that you're spitting out there, like it's a lot. And so for somebody watching, they're like, okay, I have like 5 books.
Right.
And it's like, how do you do that without?
And because I'm purposely I'm focusing on 2 books per week. Now I can read more than that per week, but I'm specifically saying like I want to get these 2 books read by the end of the week. And so it's only 2 to 4 books per video as opposed to like a sit down wrap up, which I love to watch a wrap up. So like I'm not saying that like wrap ups don't have their place. But if I read 15 books in a month and then I have to, first of all, I have to sit here, I have to take all the books out and then put them all away. And if I'm doing it weekly, they're already out because I've been reading them.
Yeah.
You know, so it's fine. But Donna, we love to have you. Jean is torn between reading Salacious Players, Give Me More, and finishing Zodiac Academy 9. Only 107 pages left. Enjoying both. Oh, in the first part of this, I am going to have to film the rest of my my May TBR video. I've already done the roll, like the spins, and I've picked out the books, but we're changing the rules slightly because here's the thing. Your girl has failed once again at keeping up with the 12 Rex from 12 Besties. Have I gotten hooked, which is the one Amy gave me every single month since I started? Yes. Have I actually read it? No. Am I going to read it in May? Yes, I am. And you know why I'm going to read it in May? Because it is on the freaking wheel this time. And I was like, listen, my library is like, ma'am, how many times are you going to check this book out and not read it?
Yeah.
And there's nothing about this book that makes it so I don't want to read it. There's nothing about it. Like literally everything about this book.
Sutton Foster.
It's about crafting. Like it's Sutton Foster. And
Crafting. Broadway.
And, right. Everything about this book, I want to read it. Here's where it messes me up is that I forget what's in my Libby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When they are audiobooks.
Yeah.
And this is one that I want to listen to. I don't want to read it.
Yeah, because she reads it herself. So like
right. And I'm very much like, but this month I also have, well, this week actually, I'm also reading Beyond the Wand by
Tom Felton.
Thank you. And that book I've had since it came out on Libro FM, and I never picked it up. You know why? Because I forget what audiobooks I own.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I actually checked out an audiobook from the library that I had in my Libro FM. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like, because I forget what audiobooks I own. And the thing is that I buy so few nonfiction books too, that like they have to be nonfiction that I actually want to read.
Yeah.
And for April, that was my April pick, was Beyond the Wand. So, and then I spun the wheel yesterday to see what books I would be reading for next week. And I was like, oh, I forgot I was like, where do I own this? And then I was like, oh, Libro. And then I was like, oh, I forgot that I even own this book, because I was going to go get it from the library and it's like a 12-week wait. And I was like, I don't have 12 weeks. And then I was like, you own this book. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I did that with.
Okay, give me 1 second. Unless you want right now. Hopefully I will get to it.
What I was saying.
It's the whispered word, but we have to get living room cleaned up and back together. We just finished putting up some shelves.
I love that series. It's so fun and wonderful.
Listening to Just the Nicest Couple by Mary
Kubica. I want to read more by her. I loved Little Women.
No,
Local you cannot. Woman Missing. It was so all over the place. I love it.
I'm so sorry, but that's quite illegal for you to marry your mom. That's just the law, Ari.
Can I marry my uncle?
No. Hello, Ashley. Got so excited when I saw this. We're so excited to have you. Welcome. We are going to read soon, friends. We are. I feel the same. The first book was awesome, and now it's lame. That's, yeah. Just...
Yeah. I think what killed it for me was knowing that it was like dystopian Chicago. And all of a sudden I was like, no.
Here's the thing. I actually
it's not happening in the Midwest.
I liked 4, but I think it's because
it was part of like it was covering part of Divergent
POV, and so a lot of what we cover is in Divergent. Like it's just from his POV. And I like a book from the opposite POV.
I know.
Honestly, if we made this like a dual POV, that would have worked great for me.
Yeah. From the beginning.
That's what I'm picking up next, and I'm over it. That's fair. Honestly, don't watch the movies. The movies are trash.
They didn't even make the last one.
If you didn't like the books, the movies, absolutely not. And like Amy said, they didn't even make the last one. Like they just gave up after book 2. Like, okay. I'm excited for the video. Yes, it's gonna be great. Hopefully I don't have to re-film it, because my brother did yell up the stairs and he yelled my actual name while I was in the middle of filming the video. And you like, and I know, because I watched part of the footage back just to see like where I'd have to splice it. And you definitely hear me like when I stop the video, I like roll my eyes, and then as I go to click the camera to stop it, I say ass. Like, and I was like ass, like that. And then like I got it stopped, and I was like, what? And then my other brother was like, she's trying to film, so don't yell upstairs again.
I love your voice. She's trying to film.
It's not quite what he sounds like, but I can't sound like a man, so
It's definitely not what I sound like. but
not
yeah.
at all. But it's fine. Okay. Hello, I'm reading something. I'm not sure what, but I will be reading. If you want help with deciding, let us know. What book are you buddy reading? Coda,
I
have
really like
suggestions?
that. I'm reading something.
Amy and I are going to buddy read Better Than the Movies by
Lynn Painter.
Lynn Painter. I knew it was something Painter, and I couldn't think of her first name. Lynn Painter. Yes, it's like a YA romance, like rom-com. But I was gonna read it in February because it's for something. I don't even because it's on my 25 and 2025 or my self-destruct, something like that. But I was gonna read it in February, but it has a dead mom in it, and I was like, this is not a February book.
No.
So when
I did see that Verity is leaving KU though.
yeah, but Verity is leaving KU. Honestly, Jean, I think that you would like Verity. Just know that it is real messed up. And also the sex scenes have no place in this book. Like there was no reason for
No.
them.
Like, why?
Hi Christina. Speaking of buddy reads, I am so bad at them. You know what, girl? Me too, because it took me twice as long to read North is the Night. I did talk about this in episode 2 of Book and Coffee Chats, but I ended up giving it 4 stars, 3.5 stars, 4 stars, something like that. I did not hate it, but I did not love it. I will read the second book because it's only a duet, and I am like intrigued enough by it to read the second book. I also am wondering if maybe I was not in the mood for this book. And if maybe Emily Rath is an author that I need to just read her books physically first and not with audio. Because I actually have this problem with Pucking Sweet, which is part of the Jacksonville Rays, which we all know how much I love the Jacksonville Rays. I literally could be a Jacksonville Rays like fan account at this point. And when I listened to the audio, I only gave it 5 stars. But when I read it with my eyeballs, I gave it 6 stars. This is a 6-star series. So I may try to revisit North is the Night when I know when the second book is coming out, and maybe just see if I just wasn't in like a fantasy mood. Because I'm in a fantasy mood, but I think maybe I just wasn't in a mood for this. But I did enjoy it. Like, it was fine. You know? And she did finish The Spell Shop, which I have not on my shelf. I need to read it. So I'm glad that it was cute and cozy. So I'm excited to read that when I get to it.
I know. I'm mad at myself for not reading this yet.
For what?
I've had it so long to sit and read.
Do we need to buddy read that one too? Because we can't.
I bought it because of this. But look at this.
That's why I bought it as well. And because Leandra and Brittany were talking about it. And I was like, well, now I have to buy it because I have FOMO. And now it's just sat on my shelf since I bought it last year. It's fine. This is the link for Not Enough Spoons for Mondays. If you want to go watch me and Brittany, it's just a cozy good time. We're just friends chit-chatting with each other. Truthfully, sometimes we have structure to our morning show, and sometimes we just don't. Hello, Steph. Just finished Sunrise on the Reaping, and I'm still processing. Not sure what I will be doing this evening, though. My brother read this. I have not read it yet. I need to, but I've not read it yet, and I'm scared because I know it's going to cause me pain. It almost made my 16-year-old brother cry at school, and he's not a crier. I'm screwed, Amy. I'm screwed. He came home from school one day, and I knew he was listening to it because he asked if he could. It's on my Libro FM. And I said, yeah, you can. Just don't give me any spoilers. He comes home. He looks so sad. He just looks so sad. And I said, well, are you okay? And he was like, he's like, the audacity of this book. It almost made me cry in the middle of class. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be in a corner rocking. Like, I'm.
Well, I mean, something happened to Haymitch that makes Haymitch who Haymitch is. It's not gonna be easy.
We know that. Yeah.
3 words. You are cooked.
I'm definitely cooked. I'm definitely gonna be crying. Me and Brittany can cry at everything. We're so screwed.
I tried everything too. Mhm.
I'll be finishing the Book of Doors. Wonderful. Hello, welcome. I'm reading A Very Bad Thing by J.T. Ellison. Is a KU book with free audio. Love that. Love how it reads along in the text while the audio plays. Yes. Hope everyone is having a great Friday. You as well.
Mhm.
I live in Ohio and we have beaches on Lake Erie. Exactly. Hello, Patricia. So my son is telling me cool stuff right now. I guess the platypus is a rave animal because it has biofluorescence, which makes it turn green under a black light. That's so fun.
It's fun.
Leanne and Eddie's exes did not get together. If they did, it was not long term.
Okay.
Shania Twain,
I didn't read that then.
husband got with her best friend, and Shania got with her best friend's ex-husband. This is so
That's
why?
the one.
This is so strange to me.
That's
I don't.
the one.
I mean, if it works out, it works out. I just feel like it's so strange. Eddie's ex is currently being rushed to the hospital due to a face parasite, according to current stories.
Oh, jeez.
Good Lord. That was a twist. I need to do a reread of Quicksilver at some point. Honestly, Steph, I don't know why I sat on this book for so long. Oh, there's Jess. Hi, Jess. Hold on. Let me add you to the thingy. Maybe. There she is. Hi, Jess. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you guys tonight?
We're doing great. I mean, we're 40 minutes in and we've done no reading, but here we are.
As you can see from the chaos surrounding me, I will also be doing no reading. But it's fine.
It's fine.
I started reorganizing my 3-tier shelf last night. And as I was getting ready to start putting stuff back on it, it was full of cats sleeping. So I just went to another project and didn't get anything put back on it.
That's fair.
You know, cats.
Jean, to answer your question on this, because I don't know if anybody else can answer this. Yes. So so they're not only made by Diamond Art Club, but it looks like a pizza roller. I have seen these. Actually, when I started diamond painting, they were like all the rave. Like for some reason, I was just getting like inundated with like shorts of people using them on YouTube. They look terrible to me. Because from what I understand, you load them just like you would a diamond, like a regular pen, right? So you have like your putty or whatever you use, and then you roll them into like onto your tray, and then you roll them out. But the thing is, like, you have to have a lot more control with them because you're rolling them out, and I could not, absolutely not. It's like diamond painting with tweezers. You could not pay me enough. I have pens for a reason, you know?
Yeah.
Every time I see it, I'm like, that would be really cool if I could actually figure out how to use it. But I don't want to.
People who like them really like them. I could never.
Yeah.
So I think if you have a lot of control over your diamond painting, you'd be good at it. I've heard that they work pretty well for like square paintings as well. But you'd have to make sure they were in a straight line, and I don't have the tenacity for that.
Yeah.
I was just like bored now, but it seems to have picked up a little. I'm in first chapter of part 2. I'm reading Iron Flame with Donna reads. Yes. So because here's the thing, it was very soggy for me about halfway through part 1, and then Brittany was like, once you get to part 2, it picks back up. And honestly, if we had condensed part 1 into like 80 pages and then gone to part 2, it would have been fine. Like, I would have given it such a higher rating, which I did give it 4 or 4.5, because I really did like the second half of the book. I just felt like the first half was a little bit soggy. Hello, Jen, reading Under the Whispering Door, and so happy it's Friday. Hope you are both well. We hope you are well as well. This must have, like, we're behind on comments, people. I'm so sorry. just men. It is what it is. I
Obviously.
cringy with Sutton Foster since she and Hugh Jackman are now a couple, although I did watch Bunheads. Listen, I do
Her
not
and
care
Hugh Jackman were a
who.
couple.
Here's what I'm going to say. I don't care who Hugh Jackman is in a relationship with. He will always be my fantasy husband. I don't care. I literally don't care. Okay? It's
I mean, I
I-
see it.
I lost all love for Sutton Foster when they decided to just like promote her for an entire episode of the Gilmore Girls revival. Like, you only got 4 hours and you gave a whole hour to Sutton Foster in some weird play on a that no one cares about, that doesn't have anything to do with the plot of the story. Or
I mean, in my opinion, the Gilmore Girls revival was such a hot mess anyway.
but it would have been better without giving an entire episode to Sutton Foster. They could have worked on other things in that 45 minutes.
I will agree with you on that. It felt like there was really no place for that in the revival. Like it didn't really make sense. But like also the
I don't
revival.
even remember Sutton Foster. That's how
Ari
well I
Christina
remember the revival. I don't even
says
remember her being
hello
in
to
there.
you. Well, she can hear you, so just say it.
I love you, Christina.
Good evening, Sherry. I will go watch your video. I am so far behind. It's no big deal. It's okay.
So are we in the comments?
I want to read the second one too. Yeah. Can you message me as to kind of how messed up Verity is? Yes, I can, Jean, because I can tell you without like really spoiling anything, to be honest. Just it's pretty dark is the only thing. So I mean, I can just tell you now. Truly, if things with children bother you, like any kind of like
Using them as pawns.
wrongdoing to children, so using them as pawns, any kind of like violence towards children bothers you, I would not read it. To be honest. Because like as
if
a
you can't
mom,
understand that it is absolutely like horrific and like nobody is
it's absolutely unhinged.
promoting it.
And
It's
you don't
unhinged.
like anyone in this book. Like I literally rooted for no one.
Yeah. Mhm.
Hello, Stephanie. Supposed to be reading Mistborn, but I think I might get started with the Inheritance games. I read the first Inheritance game book, and here's the thing. I ate up the first Inheritance games book
Love
during
it.
there was like a group buddy read during the first round of the Amazing Readathon. And I absolutely loved the first book, and then I never moved on. Do I own all three on my Kindle? Absolutely. But I never moved on, and I feel like I should move on because the thing is like it's YA, right? So it goes super quickly, and the chapters are so short that like you could just read it in like 1 or 2 sittings. Like it
Mhm.
takes no time to read. But I did like it.
I'm going to need you to read Mistborn, though, so hop to it.
But also, yes, read Mistborn because again, I read the first book and then I never moved on. But
What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. Listen, I read the first book with Hillary. Also, I think during the first installment of the Amazing Readathon, Hillary was like, "Do you want to read this with me?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." And it was the first buddy read I ever did that wasn't with like a direct like sprint friend. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
she was just like a friend that I had met, but I've never like seen her face or anything. And we both liked it. I gave it 5 stars. So like I'm sure I will like the next 2 books because I own the first 3 books.
I just
Jeff-
need you to read it and be sad with me, okay?
Okay, I will read Mistborn by the end of the year, I promise you.
Don't ask me to promise you that I'm going to read anything by the end of the year because I don't read
I know.
anymore.
You're having some issue with reading, but I'm telling you that I will read it. Just like okay, the 2 things I can commit to are for you and Margaret. For Margaret, it is that I will read the rest of the Little Thieves trilogy, and for you, it is that I will read the rest of Mistborn.
I should probably start the Little Thieves at some point.
But I told Margaret that I'm not in a headspace right now to read it because she did say there's some terrible mothering, and I just don't have time for terrible mothers right now.
Fair enough.
Sunrise on the Reaping is so good. I cried, and I'm not a crier at books. I am screwed. I was a mess for a while after. I am
Real screwed.
okay. When I read this book, I will be back in 5 to 7 business days. Like I will need some time. I'm currently reading Fucking Wild, slowly getting through the TBR backlist. I hope you're loving it. If you're not loving it, I understand. But I hope, Allie, that you're loving it. If you want to ever message me about it, I am reading Winiva everywhere. Discord, Instagram. I am always up for a discussion of the Jackson Moraes books, even if you hate them. I've definitely had people message me and be like, "Hey, so I read Pucking Sweet and Pucking Around and I did not like it. I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "You know what? It's fine." And then they tell me why they didn't like it, and I'm like, "You know what? I understand, but also I loved it." So, hello, Neva, Amy. I just got home from dropping my kid off. I will be reading The Tropic of Serpents. Hello, Sabrina. Sunrise on the Reaping had me sobbing so bad. My partner was really worried something was wrong. I am screwed. Y'all saw me last year when I read Magnolia Park's A Long Way Home. I'm so screwed, y'all. I'm so screwed. Quicksilver is also on Stephanie's TBR. Please read it. It's just so good.
Sure, you take lots of pictures of yourself crying so Google can put together a little collage of you bawling your eyes out like it did for me with Ova.
Maybe I'll do maybe I'll do a because with Uva we were sending pictures of ourselves back and forth.
I sent so many pictures.
We had a group chat and we were like, we are distraught, and then we were just like sending pictures of ourselves crying back and forth. It was great.
And Google's like, this looks like something you want to remember. You're bawling your
Bang!
like, thank God it wasn't because somebody died.
Right.
I think
Well, I would hope in that case you wouldn't be taking pictures.
I'm contemplating doing
Right.
like a short. I'm contemplating doing like a short that's like me before I read Sunrise on the Reaping. And then me after I read Sunrise on the Reaping. You know how like they did with like Manacled last year when everybody was doing reading Manacled in 72 hours challenge? I will not be doing that. I will be reading Manacled this month, but I will not be doing it in 72 hours. I'm so sorry. First of all, I feel like that's a terrible idea with how heavy that book is. But it's fine. Sunrise is so good and also devastating, apparently.
Can you get hit with your emo art
Oh,
after
this is for
Sunrise on the Reaping?
Jess.
Yeah.
Hello, Michaela. Off work next 2 days. Also, my emo. I know.
Axolotl.
Thank you. I was like, when I look at the word, I can't say it.
You know you axolotl questions.
Came in today. Wonderful. I also loved the third Gilmore Girl. I also gave it 6 stars. Here's the thing. I didn't even listen to the audiobook. Brittany did when we buddy read it. I just read the physical book because that's what I had access to, and I didn't want to wait 16 weeks for the audiobook. I'm probably gonna like buy the audio at some point and then listen to it because I kind of want the experience of listening to it. I just listened to her singing like Broadway songs while I listened, and that was a wonderful experience.
I have the audiobook, but I haven't listened.
Just know when you go into this, she explains at the end why she named the book or titled the book the way she did, because originally it was supposed to have a different title. But just know that only like the last part of the book is about Gilmore Girls. People were like, "Oh, I expect this whole book to be about Gilmore Girls." I'm like, this woman had so much more life.
I just like her. Like, I don't really care about
Me
the Gilmore
too.
Girls aspect. I just like her.
I just love Kelly Bishop like as a person. So like I didn't really care that I didn't expect the whole book to be about Gilmore Girls, like, because Gilmore Girls in reality of her, like in the reality of her career, was a blip of her career.
Yeah.
You know? She was on Broadway way longer than she was on screen. So like
I read Wishful Drinking, the Carrie Fisher memoir.
Yes, I love that book.
Like minimally after she died, but I had never watched Star Wars. So like, I mean, I had a frame of reference because it's Star Wars, but and she talks about it a lot, but I had never watched it. And I enjoyed that book so much just because I like her.
Yeah. Well, and that's like when I read Elliot Page's memoir, obviously that was after their transition, right?
Yeah.
And so people were like, "Oh, I didn't like this because he didn't really talk a lot about his time like as Ellen, and I was like, okay, but like this book is literally about his transition. So like there was some talk about like Juno and like how Juno was a really dark time for him and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, I didn't read this to hear about freaking Juno. Like, I read this to hear about Elliot and like his
Yeah.
journey in life. And then when
Yeah.
everybody got so upset that like the writers at Netflix decided to also make it so that Vanya became Victor in oh god, what is that show?
My brain wants to say Academy something.
Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy. And I was like, okay, but like, so you wanted, first of all, good on Netflix. Because like when I saw that, I was like, wow, what an awesome thing to do. Because not a lot of companies would do that. But like, so you wanted him to continue playing a character that he was that he no longer would have identified with. That's a weird take, but okay, sure. Stephanie's on page 112 of 624 of Mistborn.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Hello. Currently reading Claire de Lune by Christine Johnson. I get it. I loved the Final Empire, but I also don't feel like I really need to read the next one, although I am planning on reading well on Ascending during Kooky, which is Kindle Unlimited, Kindle Mayhem. Here's the thing. I want to move on. I forget that I have the books until I'm going through my books again. I don't own a lot of Brandy Sandy. I think that's part of the problem.
I do.
But I also like want to be a Brandy Sandy girl just so I can discuss it with Jess. I'm gonna be real. I just want to be able to talk to Jess about it. Although I did read Tress last year, I didn't really like it.
I didn't like Tress either.
I gave it 3.5 stars.
I think I gave it like 2.25.
And the thing is, I think when Ari's a little bit older, she'll like it.
Here's the thing about
I think if I was a teenager when I read it, I would have liked it.
I liked the voice because of the character whom we hear from the whole book, like the narrator of the book. I like them as a character, and you see them in other places throughout the Cosmere. And I like them as a character, but I just did not care for the plot of that book at all.
And that was kind of my problem, was like the plot. And then I also like I did, and I don't do this usually, but I actually listened to the, what is that called? The like graphic audio for that.
Oh yeah.
And I actually really did enjoy the graphic audio. I actually really did like the graphic audio for it. I just felt like there were big chunks of the book that just did nothing.
I also, now that I think back, I read Tress while I had shingles. So that probably also didn't.
Yeah. And I know that during that time you were reading books and having shingles was actually like affecting how you felt about books too.
Yeah, I was like and it was so bad because I was doing my judging for Battle of the Booktubers too. And I was like, genuinely, I was like, I feel terrible because I'm giving everyone low numbers, but I'm genuinely not having a good time. But I don't know if it's the book or just being in constant pain.
Yeah. Fair.
You know, it's all good. My favorite so far, Sanderson, is Elantris, which used to be a standalone, but he is writing a sequel. But it's not going to be out until like 2032. So, you know, it's fine. But yes, I'm reading all of your comments. I know you guys have like just started. It took me a long time. I read the first one, and it took me like 6 months to read the other two. But I did really enjoy them. And I understand why people stop reading after the first book, because it hurts. And it doesn't get any better from there. It's all painful. Everybody's in pain and agony and agony and pain. That's the way I like it. I do have a book that I need to be reading.
Okay,
My
where
book
did my
club.
comments go? Hold on. The comments jumped, friends.
I don't know where they went. I can see them from here.
What book are you supposed to be reading? I know you're having like a weird reading slumpy time.
Orbital by
Okay.
Samantha Harvey. I think it's like 6 Dudes in Space. Something like that. I don't know. It's my local indie book club book. Book club is Wednesday.
Listen,
It's only 200 pages.
I literally cry at everything. Here's what I found out about myself, that since becoming a sober girly, I feel a lot of things, and so I cry a lot. I will cry during movies and TV shows, especially ones that I've already seen before the thing that's actually supposed to make me cry happens, because I'll know that it's about to happen.
Do you
Like,
laugh at yourself while you're crying? Because I do that.
I do, but listen, good luck to me, okay? Because starting next Saturday, for anyone that didn't see the announcement, next Saturday, if you come join my Patreon, you can join at any of the paid tiers. So $2, $4, $6, or $8 tier. Everybody is getting access to this. We're doing a watch along of Grey's Anatomy. We're only doing the first 10 seasons because they're really the only seasons that I personally care about. And I feel like if you want to continue watching, you'll know by season 10 if you want to continue watching. You know what I mean?
Fair.
I'm screwed. I'm gonna be crying the entire time because like I've already seen up to, I think I stopped watching right before like all the pandemic seasons started.
So you've probably watched up to like 15.
I've watched up to like 14 or 15.
Because I think it's on like season 20 or something.
It is.
Stupid.
And I just don't know that I haven't continued because I don't know that I want to. Like I tend to do like rewatches where I'll watch up to like 14 or 15 and then I stop. And then I just rewatch them.
I didn't even get that far. I think I quit somewhere around 10. I started watching it on the second season and then watched it live for like the next 8 or 9 seasons. And then it just got to the point where I was like, I can't enjoy anything because they take away all of the joy. And so I was watching it.
So the only I watched 2 shows because I think Empire wasn't a Shonda Rhimes show, I don't think. But it was on around the same time. So I watched the 2 shows that I watched like in real time that were Shonda Rhimes shows were the Kerry Washington show Scandal.
Yeah.
And How to Get Away with Murder. I watched those in real time because I watched them with my kids' mom, with their adopted mom. And she's their mom. But I absolutely love those shows. So then in 2019, I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually watch. Like, there's enough seasons out now that I can just binge this. Well, then my mom died at the beginning of 2020, which was right after, like, a major thing happens where, like, a bunch of people in the show die. And I was absolutely devastated. I took off, like, 6.5 months. And then when I moved in with Sam and Mariah, we started watching again. Well, then we started watching and someone else died during that time. And I was like, what is this show? Like, you just be killing off everybody that I give a crap about. Like, that's cool. But no, Brittany and I were talking about it on Sprints a couple weeks ago, and people really seem to want to do it. So come join us to do it if you want.
I didn't make it nearly as far as I thought I did. I only made it to like the end of season 7.
Well, come watch it with us.
No thanks.
She's like, no, thank you. Devastation? No. I mean, if I end up watching it myself, it's fine. But I do hope people will come watch it because I think it'll be fun.
I had that problem with was it This Is Us?
Yeah.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Mandy Moore.
I just stopped reading that or watching that after a while.
I watched
I watched the first season. That was it.
I watched the first season because that first episode was so good. Like,
yeah, it was so good.
It was like life-changing good, that first episode.
So
and the
good.
first season was really good. And I started watching the second season and I got about halfway through it. And I was like, every single week, I was just sitting there sobbing for an hour. And I was like, girl, you have too much anxiety and depression to watch this show. Because this was pre-medication.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't, like, I am not fit for this.
Well,
So I
a
quit
part of
watching
it
somewhere.
for me when I watched the first season is like most of the time I actually needed to cry and I wasn't letting myself cry. And so like when I was watching that show, like that was the only time I let myself cry and it felt really good. Like,
Here's the thing.
oh, okay. Like,
I
this
started
is
that show
great. But
when it first came on. I watched the first season live. Like I watched it, every week or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I was just like, this is so much like unnecessary pain. Like I just couldn't continue. And it pops up on like Hulu or Netflix. I don't remember which streaming service it's on right now. But I think Netflix, it popped up the other day. And I was like, I added it to my list, but I was like, am I really gonna watch this? Probably not. Because like
mhm.
I like the show itself and like the concept of the show is so good. But
Yeah.
sometimes if it feels hopeless to me, which that show felt very hopeless to me.
Oh yeah, a lot of times it did.
There was just so much like, and I get it. Like people will say like, "Oh, I can't believe you watch Grey's Anatomy as like a comfort show," but like there was hope in Grey's Anatomy. Like
Usually.
even with I mean, yes, it's a hospital show, so like naturally there's a lot of death because like even if the only people dying in some episodes, the only people dying are the people that are actually in the hospital, right? But there was still like a balance between like the people dying and the people that were being saved, so there was still hope to that show for me. And I felt like This Is Us was sometimes just so hopeless feeling.
Yeah.
Well, and you knew, like, even the past parts were so hard to enjoy, like even when they were all together and happy, because you knew what the future looked like. And so you're like, you couldn't even be happy about things that had happened in the past because of the way that you knew what was going on in the future. And in my own personal opinion, I feel like if you are a depressed anxiety person, watching shows like that is a form of self-harm. Like you need to just walk away.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing is sometimes I have to walk away from shows because of that.
I can't.
Like,
okay.
like I watched actually what is that freaking zombie show? The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
After I think it was season 7. I had to stop watching it. Like once they became like part of like Negan's team or whatever, which I love that actor, by the way. Like I do. I love him. I liked him as Negan. I've liked him in other things I've seen, like in Grey's Anatomy, because he plays a character in Grey's Anatomy. Like I liked him. Like I like him as an actor.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes. But after certain people in The Walking Dead died, I just couldn't anymore. Like I was just like, you know what? My time with the show is over. Like I'm so sorry. Like it is. Steph said it's a freaking long book. Give me a break, Jess.
No breaks.
And Steph said she bought the trilogy. Steph, when you get to book 2, let me know, and we can buddy read books 2 and 3 if you want to.
Also, please know that's all in jest because I also do not read. So,
and just know I'm a terrible buddy reader, but I'll try my best. To be fair, I read Final Empire in March, so not that long ago. It just didn't end with me going, I have to read the next one straight away.
Well, no, because it's sad. And why would you want to pick up the next book?
Said that she also did not enjoy Tress, but she doesn't really enjoy Brandy Sandy in general. He makes her head hurt.
That's fair.
I loved Carrie Fisher and When Harry Met Sally. Honestly, I just love Carrie Fisher. Like I grew up watching Star Wars and Star Trek both. Which is why when people are like, well, you have to pick one fandom, I'm like, maybe in your world.
I don't have to do anything.
But
People told me that about the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. That's
what I'm saying. Like maybe in your world I have to pick one or the other, but no,
not over here in my land.
I do what I want. I'm going to start reading Clockwork Prince, The Importance of Ernest, and The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. Wonderful.
I listened to an audiobook of The Importance of Being Earnest. And I love that movie. Like it just cracks me up every time I interact with that.
I will cry during certain commercials too, Christina.
Oh, I so do. For sure.
Cat food commercials.
Here's the thing. I just cry a lot in general. Like, it just is what it is. Like, I just have a lot of big feelings. And honestly, like every therapist I've ever had has like since me, because I've been clean now for, oh God, almost 9 years. That's crazy. And basically every therapist I've had has been like, well, you just suppressed your feelings for so long, like with drugs, that like now you feel everything. And I'm like, cool, great. I love that for me. Not really, because that means I get mad and I cry.
I've never
That's
taken a drug
so
in my life. What's my excuse?
You just have big feelings. Sherry still watches Grey's on TV. The new Shonda show on Netflix called The Residence is really good. I have The Resident I have saved. My friend Jess, not Jess is on screen, but my other friend Jess, she actually just finished watching this and she said it was really, really good. So I will watch it at some point.
I have heard,
I'm watching.
I've seen people say, like doctors say, that it actually is more accurate doctorly than a lot of other shows.
Yeah, I'm watching the one on Max right now. I can't think of what it's called.
The Pit.
The Pit, yeah.
That
This
one
one I've heard is really accurate to doctors too. I've watched the first couple of episodes, I think 3 episodes, and I like it, but I have to be very choosy about when I watch it because it is very graphic. Like any kind of injury and stuff, they show it on the screen, which is fine, but that means like your girl can't be eating while I watch it. So
yeah, I'm not a gory person, so that's another problem I have with Grey's Anatomy is a lot of time I had to like look away. Like, I know it's not real.
Hello, Joni. Going to be reading either Something in the Walls or Enchantra. He will always be Denny Ducat. Yeah. Well, that's like when I watched. What is that show? Euphoria. The actor that plays Mark in Grey's, he plays the creepy like PDF file character in Euphoria, and I had to stop. No, ma'am. No.
I mean, to be fair,
But
he was kind of a creeper in Grey's Anatomy at the beginning too.
But not like
Not
that.
quite that bad.
Mhm.
But not
Yes.
and I
That's
understand.
the extent.
He was more of like the creepy like player type in Grey's at the beginning.
I wouldn't put it past him putting some little extra things in girls' drinks at a bar.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
very sketch.
He was definitely like a sketchy character, but he was, in my opinion, in Grey's Anatomy, he was not like this sketchy, like I'm gonna take a 16-year-old home when I'm 30.
It was at least adult women.
Right. I'm not saying that's
not saying
okay.
much.
I'm not saying that's okay, but what I'm saying is like in Euphoria, he was actually sleeping with underage.
Yeah.
And that put me off. Like I love Euphoria. It's one of my favorite shows. I think it's very realistic to what drug addiction looks like for a lot of people. It wasn't super like dramatized as far as I was concerned, but it took me a minute to be like, why is Mark in this? I'm disturbed. He did great in it. Yeah, I just hated it. Every second of it.
That was like when Robin Williams played the creepy guy in that photo. Like,
right.
I couldn't with that.
Sarah popped out and read 22 pages. So far, so good. Wonderful. Also, this is totally acceptable. You can mute us and read. It's fine. Yeah. Team in Sync always from Michaela. Hello, Jane. Just joining in. You've missed nothing. Literally. I'll be finishing The Perfect Marriage. I hope that you love this book. I cannot wait to read The Perfect Divorce. I cannot wait. I have it on my Kindle. I'm going to read it. I cannot wait to read it. The Perfect Marriage. I gave it 6 stars. This is a thriller, and I literally loved it. Jane, I hope you love it. I hope you love it. Thank you so much, Joni. My 2-year sobriety from alcohol is July. Yay, we love to see it. I love celebrating people that have clean and sober time. It's hard, but once you get it, you get it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had to think about how long it's been because Ari is almost 8, so
can't wait for
9
mine.
years. That's
Mom.
crazy. What?
Mhm. Can't believe Ari's almost 8.
I know, isn't that gross? What? Ari? What did you say? Just speak.
I said, can I invite at least 2 friends for my birthday?
We'll see. I think we're just, but we might just have a family party.
I want to have all the family and then 2 friends.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. The Pit, I'm addicted. Yeah, I do really like it. The gore gets worse. There's a scene that shows. Yeah, I know that this is a thing that happens. There's like a scene in the first episode where a dude runs through the hospital buck naked, and you see him from the back. Like it's a very graphic show. Like it's realistic, and I've watched some reviews from doctors saying like this is very realistic to like how the ER is, but just know that going into it.
No thanks.
Vanessa and Nell saw Geneva Rose on Wednesday. Yes, they did. Christina, Ari's birthday is May 15th. I will put up a thing.
Can Brittany be invited to my birthday? Just give her an invitation because she's family. She's my.
I mean, I can send her an invitation, but
literally
she's
my
not gonna
aunt.
be able to come. She lives all the way in
Florida.
no, she lives
Florida.
I
Complete
know.
opposite direction.
I know, but she won't be able to come. Sorry. I will post a community tab, Christina, like I do every year, just saying like if you want, this is Ari's wish list. If you want to send her things, please never feel obligated to send me or Ari things. I just put it up because people will always ask when they know it's close to her birthday. If you want to send her things, I will film it so you can like. Usually what I do is I take a picture of her and I post it to social media, and then we also film it and I put it on Patreon
Yeah.
because I don't really love Ari on my main channel in static videos, just for her safety.
For my safety.
But if you're someone who buys her, like sends her something and you're not part of Patreon, I will send you like the link to the video so that you can see it. Because I think that that's only fair. I just don't want her to be on like the main feed.
Live on Maine.
So I want to add a few more things.
We always update your wish list before I post it, so we will do that in the next week or so.
Because I want to put a few more things in my wish.
Okay, we can do that.
that.
Also, her wish list is books, but there's also like other things on there. So
Toys.
yes, like toys. I put clothes on there as well. So
Toys, Mom.
Just
Toys.
closer gift for you. Jane is loving it. I'm buddy reading with a friend, and we have tickets to Perfect Divorce tour tomorrow. That's so exciting. I wasn't warned about the birth scene, and I was at work. Yeah, I watched reviews of this show before going into it, and so there was some talk about it in reviews that I watched. I don't even say my son's name on social media.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna go to the bathroom.
that's fair.
And then can I?
I was watching somebody that I follow, and
Not tonight. We'll do
she
it.
chosen literature names for each of her kids. So like she like has specific names that she says for them instead of their real names. Like nobody that follows her knows her kids' real names because that's what she does, and I think that's cool.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
My kid's almost 18.
My nephew's almost 16.
At
Okay,
Easter, one of
we
my cousins was
are-
here.
We are officially at the end of the sprint. Do we want to do an hour of reading, friends?
Yeah, we could read things.
Christina's turned 17 and 29 this month. I had to sit down and do the calculations of how old my kids are today because I was talking to my brothers about it. Because the children that I have that have been adopted, I did not adopt them. They were adopted from me. They're coming this summer for like a week to visit. You won't see them on camera. Their mom prefers them not to be on camera. We also don't say their names online, so it is what it is. But I was sitting here and I was doing, yes, but Aquila is their mom. I gave birth to them, so I am. I'm their birth mom, and they still call me mom. But for all intents, Mama Aquila is their mom. That's just the way it is.
The one that makes decisions.
I'll
Is the
explain. I'll explain it to you in a little bit, okay? Sit down, relax. But I was doing like the calculations because Ari is almost 8, right? And then I was like, well, how old are the other kids? And then I was like, this is really gross, like how old these children are, because like, wow, because I remember when they were like born, because they're 13, 11, and 10. And I was like, where did that even happen? When?
Well, it was 13, 11, and 10 years ago. So,
Yeah.
Yes, it will be fun. Also, the 2 older children, their dad lives like a town over from me. So, like their biological dad. So, I'll probably make an arrangement for him to see them as well, but he's not welcome in this house. That's not my choice. That's my dad does not want him in the house. So, it is what it is, you know what I mean? But like, it'll be fun, but probably the week that they are here, I will not be online. I'm going to be real because it's going to be a lot to have all 4 kids and be trying to do like sprints and stuff like that. Like, I'm not even sure how much filming I'll get done that week. I'm probably just going to I'm probably just going to plan to take that week completely off.
just spend time with your kids and have a good time.
Because
for real.
Sabrina's children are 16 and 19, and I feel like I just had them. It's crazy how quickly they grew up, honestly. Someone asked me the other day how old Ari was, and I was like, oh, she's 6. And then I was like, no, she's not. She's almost 8.
Oh.
Yeah. And plus, all of my children, all of them are differently, like they all have different needs. So it is just, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. What are you stressed about, man?
I don't know. My brother is dead.
Okay, well, you'll meet him. I mean,
and I wish.
I think you've met him once.
No.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Plus, I wish you. I wish.
Girl, it's stressing.
That too. We would have the same
It's hard to be
Oh,
8.
all right.
It's hard to be 8 and not understand everything of how the world works. It's a rough time.
I know. It is. Yeah.
I don't really remember
There's
it.
certain things you're sure of, but then it's like,
I mean, I spent not last weekend, but the weekend before with my 4-year-old nephew. It's technically my best friend's kid, but he's my nephew. He calls me Aunt Jess.
Yep.
Yep. And I call him my best friend. Like, he's my best friend. I'm going to my best friend's house, and it's his house, And I said, "You're my best friend, right?" And he said, "Yep." And I said, "Are we going to be best friends forever?" And he goes, "Well, one day you're going to die." And I was like, you got me there.
Oh no.
You got me there. One day that is going to happen.
But that is not a crime.
4-year-olds do not hold back, man.
No, they don't.
Kids have no filter.
He is doing really good with the if it's something you can't, like, you don't talk about something about someone unless it's something they can change in 5 minutes or less. Like, if they have something stuck in their teeth, you can tell them. But like, if their eyes are shaped funny, we don't talk about that. He does really good about that.
That's
with other
really
people,
hard. That's
but
like
not
a
with
hard
Aunt
thing.
Jess. Not with Aunt Jess. Not Aunt
Because
Jess
you're
is
safe.
tender.
You're
And
safe.
he said,
You're a safe person.
He said, "Aunt Jess, your front teeth are kind of like rabbit teeth."
My Lord.
And I said, "Well, the teeth you have right now are baby teeth, and those are going to fall out, and you'll grow in new teeth, and you might have rabbit teeth too." And he looked at his mom and he said, "Is that true?" And she said, "Yeah, that's true." She said, "You might have rabbit teeth too." And he went, "Oh, okay." This was the same day. Like, he was reading me for filth that day.
You realize, let me just give you a taste for a minute.
Testing the
Listen,
border.
Ari is a very I don't want to say that she's like an emotional child, because I feel like that's like mean, but like, she just has a lot of big feelings. So
She has big feelings.
she goes
She holds
through it.
her heart on her sleeve.
she goes through it at least once a day. It is what it is. Truly, I can't even blame her because honestly, I also go through it at least once a day.
You
Truly,
just
Lynn,
told us
having
about how you cry at commercials, Neva. So,
yeah,
which I do too.
Yeah,
So I'm.
this is the part that is hard. There's usually tears from all of the children, and I try to hold it together until they've left, just because I don't want to make it like harder for them. But they've all grown up knowing about each other, and their mom actually cut Ari's umbilical cord when she was born, which is such a nice story. And yeah, they've always spent time together. Like when we all lived in the same state, we had like weekly visits. So they call me mom, and then they call their mom mama, just to differentiate between the two. So like Ari calls her mama also, which is fine. People always ask me like, oh, don't you feel like slighted or whatever? And I'm like, no. Like,
Pretty sure if anybody could feel slighted, it could be her.
yeah, like she is their mom, and she wanted like the open adoption. Like she was the one that suggested it. I kind of expected to just have a closed adoption, to be honest. And she was like, well, you should be involved and all that stuff. So yeah, it works out fine.
That's amazing. That's so amazing that's just really, it is.
Yeah.
It's
So
healthy.
I mean, I have like guilt and stuff around it, but I've just tried to but that's like my own thing. It has nothing to do with her. And I've just turned it into like I try to help advocate for other birth moms and just like try to help educate people, because I feel that there's like a stigma around like the whole like adoption thing. Like everybody just assumes that like if you have your children adopted, it's because you're like you chose drugs over your kids or something like that. And it's not always it's not always like that. I mean, sometimes like that can be part of it. But also like even if that's why, like it's still like a selfless thing that you did, because you could have chosen to
You're
make
still
that child
choosing to give your child a better life.
Yes.
Yeah. And I also think people don't think about like how they think about the difficulty for the children to understand it, but they don't think about the guilt that the birth parents go through. Because while there are a lot of birth dads that just kind of like most of the time the birth dads have already washed their hands of it, right? They're not involved anyway. But
not even every time either. Like there are some birth dads that go through it too with you know.
Yeah, and all of the birth parents, like birth moms or dads I've talked to, like there is like a guilt, and they also feel like they're not treated like human beings, you know, because like people don't think about them. They just think about like, oh, you gave your kid up or whatever. And like it's never that simple. So yeah.
Never.
Yeah. My niece, who I nanny full time, is almost 19 months, growing up too fast. It's crazy. Well, that's like Rainey said the other day. She was like, yeah, you know, because Eloise is 2, and I was like, I'm sorry. I was there like 1 week after she was born. I have a picture of me holding Eloise at like a week and a half or 2 weeks old. That is disgusting.
What? I'm gonna need you to explain this to me.
My nephew used to always tell me I had a big butt and couldn't fit in the chair. Children are so rude, to be honest. Like, hello, Brooklyn, going out soon. So wish you all a lovely 24 hours. Please be safe. No white vans, ma'am. Okay, have fun.
Have fun.
Joni's Pizza is there. Hello to everyone in the comments. Hello, Jen. Trying to get some schoolwork done, but I'm so distracted tonight. That's fair. We haven't even done a sprint yet. So
yeah, we're a little distracted too.
My best friend, he's adopted, but he looks so much like he fits in with his family, and his photos showing that he looks like family. He's their kid. That won't change. And here's the thing. Adopted children are that family's children. I don't care if they've adopted, like, if it's like a white family that's like or a white couple that's adopted black children or vice versa. Like my kid's mom is a black woman. Okay. And like, but that's like still their mom. So like it is what it is, you know? So like just like your
And it-
family doesn't have to look like you to be your family.
Right.
Correct.
Yes, no white vans. Absolutely not. Okay. Let us do an hour sprint.
Should I leave my soda up here?
No.
Oh.
I think you took it downstairs. Go look in the room.
Oh.
I'll see you guys when the sprint's done because my timer for dinner's going off.
Okay, so is an hour good for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye. Have a good sprint. Can I start it?
No. I want you to go do what I asked you to do, bro.
Why do I need to clean the room?
You don't have to clean your room. I don't give a shit about it. But go find your soda and then go hang out downstairs. Go watch TV or something. You're driving me nuts. And I'm not doing this for the whole 24 hours, Ari. Do you hear me? Hello. How did we do, friends? I will be real. I did not read. I ate some food and I listened to Jelly Roll's new song. That was cool. Bop. And then I messaged Steph and told her that it was a bop, and then she went and listened to it.
Nice.
So, how did you do, Amy?
I got to page 41, 2 chapters in. So I finished the prologue and read the first 2 chapters of Book Lovers, and then I wanted my books in the background and trying to get ready for my sprints. Or my leg of the sprints. And so I was like getting in my comfy clothes and all that stuff. And then my phone blew up. So I was chatting. So yeah, all that fun stuff.
Wonderful. Jess had to leave us because she's having some dinner issues. So she will be back at some point because she's doing our closeout this month. So she'll be back at some point. I think Margaret is going to join us here soon. She needed a nap first, which
Fair.
Relatable, truly. But yeah, so let me see. I didn't star anything because that's who I am. This is where we left. Wow, what in the world is happening? Okay. Kendra said it turned into a giant hangout. It basically did. We basically just talked for the first hour. It's really fun.
We did.
These are all of Christina's reminders. Make sure you do the things. Hello, Cherie. Reading Close Protection by Ian Victoria and Arc of King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. Halfway done. Wonderful. We love to have you. I am going to read in the next sprint. I don't tend to listen to audios while I'm eating because I never know, especially with something like this that's like fantasy, I never know how graphic things are going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm just not trying to set myself up for failure. So Jody didn't quite make it to where she wanted to, but her eyes are struggling to stay awake and out of match 6 of bed for me. Good night. I'm sure you're already in bed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Sarah, reading The Nightwalker by Thomas Tessier. I'm not sure. It looks like Chantel Tessier's last name, and I know hers is Tessier, but like it could be said a different way. So
yeah, you never really know with last names or first names for that matter.
Had dinner and listened to Becoming. Is this by Michelle Obama? Because if it is, I hope you love this book. I love Michelle Obama's books. So, I mean, I just love Michelle Obama, but her books are great. I got an hour and 20 minutes left in the book. Still just Meg. Got baby girl to sleep easily for once. Yay for easy sleep. Read 11 pages. I read Zilch, but I made a BLT, so I'm hyped for that. You know what? Productivity is productivity. Am I right?
Yeah.
Almost done with Enchantra. Less than 10 pages, so I'm ignoring y'all for a few. Totally fine. Truly, there's no hard feelings. Ignore us. Mute us. You know, it's fine. Living room is back together, and my Nomies and Friends are up on the shelf now, just vacuuming a bit, but still no reading yet.
Even know me.
Oh, cute.
He's out of my frame, but he's there.
Sherry made it to page 102 of The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. Then on the next sprint, going to read Clockwork Prince and the Heaven and Earth Grocery Store. I really liked the song. Yeah, it's so good. My favorite song right now is Brandon Lake and Jelly Roll. I've been going through Brandon Lake's Theophilus, and it has been a journey. I do like Brandon Lake and Jelly Roll's new song as well. So yeah, but that I don't know. It's called Amen, the song that we're talking about for anyone who cares. And it's Shabuzi and Jelly Roll. Shabuzi did that song that was like the Like, I know the words to it, but like I can't think of like I don't know. It was like all over TikTok. The one that's like it's something about like another shot of whiskey.
Oh, yeah, another shot of whiskey.
That one, yeah. And everybody was like line dancing to it on TikTok.
Yeah,
It's that. And honestly, the beat of Amen sounds just like that song. Which I think is like fine. Like I don't mind, like especially like rappers or like hip hop artists that kind of use like the same beats for all their songs, but then they like change the lyrics to it because I feel like then it's a very like recognizable thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and there's like there's so many songs, and there's only so many ways that you can put that many.
And
it's just,
yeah, and it works for this song to have it that way.
mhm.
So yeah, but I thought it was pretty fire. I love gnomes. I have them on all my windowsills. Vacuum is now off and I can hear again. Welcome back. I'm eating lamb chops and plantains. Wonderful. This dinner
I've
is
never
going
had a plantain like in my life. I've never ever had one.
a plantain is it's like a Spanish banana.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I know what it is and I know what it looks like.
No,
but I've never had it.
Ryan's here. And he asked what a plantain was.
Oh,
Like always, no. I'll show next time we go to next time you go to the grocery store with me. I'll show you what a plantain is. It's like it's like a small banana, but it originates in Spain, so it's like a Spanish banana. When you cook it, it's sweeter than like a normal banana.
yeah.
I'll show you.
That's what I've heard. I wouldn't know what to do with a plantain if I had it.
Get me like the mini hand sanitizers or those. Like, can you like get me mini hand sanitizer? Like one or two.
We'll see. I've only had them twice, and they were made for me by my kid's mom. Like they're not bad. Like they're not like my favorite thing to eat in life,
Mm-hmm.
but like they're good. Like they're not like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Christina loves your Nomi. The bar song. That's the song. Yeah.
I think my mom made this one.
I don't know why I can never think of what the song is called. I just know like what the song is like when I hear it.
Yeah.
But yes, the bar song.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is legitimately a more pop version of 50 Cent's Tipsy. It is. But I still like it. So hubby has to work at 4 a.m. So quiet time here to finally read and work on the blanket. We love to see it.
Nice.
I read 30 pages of At the Bottom of the Garden and also read a cutie little graphic novel. Ari, you're okay. I needed the brain break. Wonderful. Is that all the comments? Am I?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that. You know why? It's because we talked for the first hour. It's really fun. That's why.
I mean, we really only have an hour and 20 minutes before the next leg.
Yeah.
Okay, have fun.
Don't have fun.
Okay.
Don't have fun.
Okay. Just remind me tomorrow.
None of fun.
Because I'll still be up because I make myself on 24 hours sprints. I make myself stay up until Ari goes to bed. So. Look at us not being chatty. It's because we chatted the first hour. If you bite my foot, you might. Well, you look like you were coming. Listen, I was looking down, so it looked like you were doing that weird thing you do where it looks like you're gonna bite my foot. And I'm just saying, if you lose some teeth in the process, if you put your mouth on my foot and you lose teeth, that's on you. Just finished and I'm dying because I need more. Fair. Wait, what was Lexi reading? Lexi, what were you reading? Hold on. I know she said it.
And I can't.
Enchantra. She was reading Enchantra.
Oh, okay.
This is the second Phantasma book. Okay, gotcha.
I have
How
to
long are
find.
we sprinting? Hi, Ashley. I feel that you've not been on 24-hour sprints before. You may not have been. So, how this works is we sprint for the next 24 hours. So, we'll be sprinting until tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. But what we're going to be doing is jumping from one channel to the next. So, right now we're on my channel. Then we're going to be over on Amy's channel, who's right here with me on screen. We'll be on her channel for 4 hours after this channel, and then y'all get to deal with me for like something like 6 or 8 hours, and then we'll go to Margaret's channel for like, I think it's like 3 hours, and then we go over to Jess's channel for the rest of the time. So usually what we do is there would be 6 of us, and we would each do 4-hour sprints. However, that's not how it worked out this month. So the cutting up of the hours is a little bit weird. But here is the playlist from Miss Christina. Everybody that is doing sprints is linked in this playlist. For anyone who doesn't know, if you go into the playlist and you click on my stream, then what it will do is it will refresh and you will be able to just follow the playlist. Like the playlist will just automatically take you to the next sprint.
Yep.
Or to the next stream. That way there's nothing you have to do on your end. This is the easiest way to follow, which is why I continue to make the
Playlist.
playlists. Eventually we'll all be to 1,000 people, and then we can just like teleport you, but this is the easiest way to do it right now.
Mm-hmm. 12 away.
Okay.
See you later, Brady.
Yes, well, welcome. We love welcome. We love to have you. I did not explain that at the beginning. I'm usually much better at this. I don't know what is going on.
You did, but that was like 3 hours ago.
I mean, that was a few hours ago, so it's fine.
She just missed that. That's fine.
See you later. Amy's channel is Amy's Bookish Life. Look at me remembering channel names. I never remember.
That was impressive.
Yes, I'm talking about cooking plantains. I was talking about cooking plantains. I've never actually cooked a banana. I mean, unless you count like banana bread.
I mean, banana bread is.
Just me for 5 hours. That's what it is. Then Margaret for 6 and me for 5. Yeah. So that's how, yeah. Basically, in the middle of the night, you're going to get me for just like an extended period of time. Then you get Margaret. Then you get Jess. I don't know. We cut the times up really weird, and it's fine. Just follow the playlist.
Works how it works.
Yeah. It's just a little bit of a weirder weekend this time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fine. Because sleep is good for you.
Yeah.
This is Christina's channel.
That would seem.
Have you started Hello Kitty Island Adventure yet? I know we were talking about that last week, I think. I have not. I actually think I'm going to start playing it in the sprints. I actually think I'm going to start it actually in the next sprint, because we'll do one more sprint over here, probably only like 45 minutes, to be honest, just to make sure that we have time to switch. But no, I'm not waking up at 1 a.m. Anyhow, I probably while I listen to some of Quicksilver, I will probably start playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I have spent the last like week playing Wildflowers. Well, I've spent longer than that, but the last week specifically, I finished actually both of my original games that I started. So the main stories on both my saves are done. I'm just doing extra stuff behind the scenes, like getting magic animals and stuff like that. I am just obsessed with Wildflowers.
I've been obsessed with, I don't know, it's some other match 3 game that I just keep playing it, and I don't know. It's just so nice to just sit and
How rude, Margaret. I saw you backstage, you little heathen.
I know, that's why I did it.
You think Papa is bendable enough to tuck me in? The Pops.
No, I will come tuck you in here in a little bit. It's not. You still got like 10 minutes. Why don't you just go get ready for bed? Go get ready for bed, and then I'll come tuck you in when this sprint starts. I'm about to start this new sprint. Hi, Margaret. How are you? What are you doing? What are you reading?
I'm not reading.
Oh, okay. Well, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna go
After you go get ready for bed.
play Baldur's Gate and watch Critical Role because I spent 7 hours reading while they did my hair.
Oh, okay.
So-
Well, that's fair. You did plenty of reading today. I am gonna make some more headway in Quicksilver in the next sprint. Am
Yeah.
I supposed to be reading Gothicana? Yes, but I think I might need to talk to Rainey about DNFing because I just don't care about this book.
I mean,
Like
maybe
if I'm
that's time for it.
if I'm not reading it, I don't care about it.
Mhm. Do you care about it when you're reading it though?
Like it's vibing while I'm reading it, but like it's literally just a vibe read. Like it's not good.
Understandable.
Like as of right now, it'll be like 3 stars.
I mean, it's perfectly valid to like DNF because you're not feeling and wanting to pick it up. It's also perfectly valid to keep reading because you're enjoying it when you're or you're vibing when you are reading. Totally get that.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably gonna just talk to her and see what she wants to do. Like if she really
Mhm.
wants me to finish it, I will. Like I'm not above finishing it. I just don't like if I'm not actually reading it, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Books like that where like I will not care about it when the book is down and then I'll pick it up and be like, actually, but to each their own.
This could be a good.
Speaking of, I do want to shout out the book that I did spend several hours reading today, and that was Death of the Author by Nydia Korfor.
Oh, I need to read that.
It's very good. It's weird and fun, and like I don't. So what's very interesting about Nydia Korfor's kind of narration style, it's a little bit more like it's almost like oration.
Oh.
Like someone is verbally telling you a story the way she writes, and it took me reading like 3 or 4 of her books to figure that out. But I thought it was a really cool, interesting touch and detail of how she writes.
Ashley, I definitely will. If you have Instagram or you have Discord, I am reading Waniva on both of those things. I will have a chat with people all day, about games, cozy games specifically. I just love a cozy game. I don't know. I'm like in my cozy game era.
You don't want to kill goblins with me?
Listen, what platform is Baldur's Gate on?
You'd have to get it's a $80 game. So like it's not accessible for everyone.
What is it on Steam?
Yeah, I got it off of Steam. Don't let me pressure you into it.
You know, this Steam Deck is looking better and better. Brother says that he would let me borrow his. So if you really wanted someone to play Baldur's Gate with, I would at least like try to learn how to play it because my brother has it. Margaret.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like against trying new games. I just don't know like literally the console that I have is the Switch. That's the only console that I have. And then I do play some of the Switch games that I have. I'm able to access through Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
So I've been playing like Wildflowers and like Cooking Mama and Dreamlight Valley. I've been playing those all on my iPad recently just because they're accessible that way.
Yeah.
But it's not because I'm going to rehook up my Switch to my TV downstairs. I think I just prefer to play my Switch on the TV. But I've been looking into a Steam Deck only because like they're expensive.
My brother loves his.
But I've been looking into one because I think I am more of a handheld gamer anyway.
The one thing I will say is you don't have to have a Steam Deck to play Steam games. You just need a wire. Like I have an Xbox controller that my brother bought me that can hook up to my computer, and I play using that. All of my games I play on Steam. Some of them are like you use your mouse to play. But like Baldur's Gate was for the computer and for the PS5, whichever one is the most recent one.
PS5.
So, and like those kinds of games, I prefer to play with a controller because I feel like it's more intuitive to me than having to do arrow keys.
Yeah, and like I have this, which is the Switch. It's a Switch Pro controller that I bought in 2023. So I bought this Switch Pro controller when I bought my Switch in 2023 because I knew that I did not want to play with like I don't even know where it is.
The little Joy-Cons.
Yeah, because like the Switch the Joy-Cons, they like the Switch comes with like the Joy-Con like holder thing, but with my arthritis, it's not comfortable
Yeah.
to hold. And so I was like, I know, and I'm gonna end up probably buying a second Pro controller, because
Yeah.
then I can have one that's always hooked up to my iPad and one that's always hooked up to my Switch. Because I do play a lot of games on my iPad, but it is a
Mhm.
pain in the ass to like switch them between the two devices all the time. Because
Truly. You
when I
have to-
switch it to my Switch, my Switch has no trouble recognizing it, but I almost always have to. Okay, please. be
Connect.
careful. I always have to make it forget the Pro controller in order to get it to hook back up to my iPad.
Yeah. That happens with my controller because I started playing Baldur's Gate on this computer, then it crashed on me, and I had to get the new computer. Now the new computer is what I use for gaming.
Yeah.
And I still have connectivity issues sometimes with that computer because it's still like, but I should be connected to this computer. I should be connected to another one.
Right.
Mhm.
Ashley, honestly, same, especially considering that I only started playing this game in March.
Let's not talk about how many hours I've played on Baldur's Gate. I get called
Here's the
out.
thing. At this point, I have, I think, 500 hours logged into
Mhm.
Wild Wars.
Nice.
Between
Almost
August
there
and
with Baldur's Gate.
It's actually so gross. Considering now, here's the thing: I've gotten a lot of audiobooks listened to because I listen to
Mhm.
audiobooks while I play. But there's just so like, because there's so much to do. Like people were like, "Oh, Wildflowers," it's just really like. I've heard a lot of people give the retort that Wildflowers as a cozy game is a short game. Now, yes, it only takes about 90 hours to complete, which is not super long for a video game. However, keep playing after the credits roll because there's so much crap that you can do after the credits roll. Like I've unlocked about half of the achievements, and I still have a bunch of achievements that I can finish, and I still haven't gotten like the magical animals and stuff like that. So they're not updating it anymore. I can't wait for Wild Society to come out, but they're not updating it anymore. But there's still so much that you can do that like you're not running out of things to do.
Nice.
Christina says hello to Margaret. Jess says hello to Batman.
Yeah, I love this shirt. It's Batman in pink and blue, and I know it
This
makes
is
the
true.
dude mad.
Yes, this is true.
Child's gonna give me a bad image.
Why? What'd she do?
What?
What did she do?
She's sitting there fucking around with fucking foot on the basket. Which I've told her, but you don't.
A child misbehaving. Shocking.
Shocking. That never happens.
No, obviously never happens. Oh God, Jess. Let's not talk about how many times I've started the game over because I needed to build a new character. Like I didn't need to build a new character, but I needed to build a new character. Listen, I'm just saying, if you have it, it's a great way to trial run your Dungeons and Dragons character. Especially if you're playing a class you've never played before. So
Nice. My nephew's really into Dungeons and Dragons. He keeps talking to me about RimWorld.
I am familiar with the name. I don't know what it means.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
I don't know a whole lot about it, but he talks about it a lot.
Sorry, I had to yell at children for sitting in and on my clothing baskets that are not meant for children's bodies.
Good.
There.
Things you never thought you'd say until you become a mother. I'm just saying. Gothic Dawn is a pretty book, but not sure I'm up for reading either. Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not against reading the like Predator series or whatever it is that's by this same author because I've heard really great things about that. But I've not necessarily heard great things about this. Rainey and I decided to read it together like a year ago, and then this is just what we've gotten it. And actually, she just answered me and said, "I never think about it either." So clearly, neither of us is thinking about it unless
You
we're
guys are
actually
super
reading.
invested in this book.
Yeah, we're loving it so much. You could soft DNF and try again later. Yeah. Technically it is on my self-destruct, but because it was gifted to me, I'm not going to get rid of it. So that's the caveat that I have, is that there are some of these books that are on my self-destruct that either have pretty edges that I know I'm not going to get rid of because of that, or they were gifted to me, so they're on there simply to make me read them. What will happen is they will stay on my shelf. I will just know, like, okay, you at least tried this book, and there was a reason you didn't actually unhaul it, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Love Caribbean food, love plantains. Hello, Zinnia. Glad I got to see you guys live this time. I'm reading Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. I hope you love it. I hope you love it. That's my favorite one in that series so far. I have
Is that the third one?
It's the second.
The second.
I have to read Final Offer. I'm like 16 chapters in, and it's good, but I just loved Declan and Iris in Terms and Conditions. But yeah, it's the second one. I have
Well, I read the first one. I really liked it.
Yeah, and I mean fine print I gave like 4 or 4.5 stars, and then Terms and Conditions I gave 6. The only issue that I really had with the fine print was I thought that he was a little bit like, I felt like his grumpiness was a bit exaggerated, and I felt like her sunshininess was a bit exaggerated. So I felt like it didn't really, like, the grumpy sunshine thing didn't balance very well for me. But ultimately, like, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
And then Terms and Conditions, I just loved the dynamic between Iris and Declan. Especially since it's like a marriage of convenience trope. I just thought it was done really well. I really like Lauren Asher's books though.
Yeah.
Because I've read the other two, Love Redesigned and Love Unwritten. I've read both of those in that series. What is that? Lakefront Billionaire series. And I really loved it.
Nice.
I have Boulder Gates 3. I'm just not good at it.
I mean, that's why you have somebody who already knows what they're doing play with you, and then they can carry you through the battles.
I'm playing Hello Kitty on my iPad because I didn't want to pay $50. Listen, that's okay. So I did pay for the Switch game for Wildflowers. It was like $25, I think, because I didn't get it on sale. It is on sale for the next like 2 or 3 days, I think, but at the time I bought it, I just purchased it. It was like $25, which is fine. It's $25 on Steam as well. To me, Wildflowers was worth the $25.
I mean, if you have that many hours logged,
All of the reviews I've heard of the Hello Kitty game, they've said like it's fun and like it's a fun thing if you like, you know, Dreamlight Valley or like Animal Crossing, but that it's not worth the like $30 to $50 that it is, because even when it goes on sale, it's still sitting at like $30. So I was like, well, I already pay for Apple Arcade, so I'll just play it that way. It's fine. Let's see. Oh, this was in reply to Jess.
To Jess being like, I'm bad. It's like, okay. I can work with that. I was also bad when I first played. Now, I did play a barbarian, which was kind of hard to kill. So there's that. But
she said it's because I can't win a battle like one of the very first ones. So she's
yeah,
still like at the beginning of the game.
There's a couple after the tutorial that are like real rough for a level 1 character. So
yeah, Ashley, listen, I would love to have friends that also play Wildflowers. I got my bio dad to play Wildflowers. You can ask Margaret how many embarrassingly long hours I put into making a spreadsheet to track everything. It's actually embarrassing. But like I bought it expecting to not really love it as much as I did. Like I expected it to just kind of be one of those games that I was like, oh, this will be fun to like play or whatever. But like,
do you mind if I move this?
Fine. The storyline and why are you moving it?
Why do you want me to put my clothes?
Just put it on top. It's not dirty. It's fine. Just put it on top. It's fine, Ari. Just put it on top. But I think that because it's a fully voice acted game, it keeps me immersed because I don't really have to read anything if I don't want to.
Mom, for
So-
my birthday, can we get our nails done?
Excuse me.
Nails done.
Is that what you want to get our nails done and then go to the mall with the family? Sure, I can probably figure that out.
And then if we have time at the end, get my ears pierced.
I know you want to get your ears pierced.
I
I
really
can
do.
probably
And you
figure that.
said when I'm 8, I can do it.
Yes, I can probably figure that out for you.
She's
It's
8.
amazing how they never forget that.
She will be 8 on the 15th of May.
Can I say goodnight to
You want to say good night to Margaret and Amy?
Yeah.
Okay, come say good night.
Where's the other person?
Jess had to go. She was trying to make dinner.
When?
You'll see her in the morning. Come say good night.
Night night.
Night.
Go potty. Go brush your teeth. Go lay down. Pick your movie. All that stuff.
Mom.
What?
Can you ask them if they could like put designs on my nails?
If we go get our nails done?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I want
Probably.
designs on my nails.
Probably.
they're
I'll
really
have to
pretty.
call. I'll have to call the nail salon because I have a friend that works at the nail salon.
You have a friend?
Yeah, sorry, because we live in an extremely small town. That's just how it works.
Yep.
Okay, so we could do one more sprint over here for 45 minutes,
Okay.
and then that would give us like 15 minutes to talk. Or we can do a shorter one that's like 30 minutes. I don't know. I don't care. What do you want to do?
I'm probably going to jump off so I can get ready for my sprints.
Which makes sense. Ari, Christina says good night.
I think you should do an hour.
No, we don't have time for that. Christina says good night.
You said 30 minutes or another hour.
No, I said 30 minutes or
40
45.
minutes or 45.
Christina said good night, Ari. Sleep sweet.
Guess what? I think we should do 45.
Well, guess what? You're going to bed. So
45.
your vote doesn't count. Go potty. Ari.
Shot fired.
Hurry up, bro. Because you were supposed to have that done. It's 5 minutes past bedtime. Let's go. Or I'm taking the remote. You won't have any TV. That's what I thought. Thank you. Yes, she's acted grown since she was 4, but she is getting big. She's a crazy mom. Okay, so all right, Amy is gonna leave us.
I
Yep.
am. Yep.
So why don't we can do 45. Is that okay with you, Margaret? 45? Okay, so we'll do 45, and then when we are done here, we'll go over to Amy's channel. So if you're following the playlist, it'll take you straight there as soon as Amy goes live. That's how that works. So we'll see everybody in 45 minutes.
Wish me luck. I have to find my mouse.
No. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye. How did we do?
Well, I'm fucked, but it's okay. No spoilers for Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
But let me finish with the crinkly thing. No spoilers for Baldur's Gate, but if you know the thing with Will's dad, the mission, I'm in the middle of that. And it's a tough mission, and if I had excuse me, if I had known certain things about it, I would have used some spells a bit differently. Anyways. Or potions, not spells. Potions.
Well, I did some listening to Quicksilver. I also played a little bit of
Wildflowers?
Hello Kitty.
Oh, okay.
I did play a little bit of Wildflowers too, but I did pick up Hello Kitty. I think I sort of understand what you're supposed to do on this game. It was very confusing the first time I tried to play it. It's similar to like Animal Crossing, which I put in a lot of hours on that game during the pandemic, but then I kind of fell out of playing Animal Crossing. But I mean, this one is fine. It's definitely, in my opinion, not worth $50. So like, if you want to play this game, I would probably, like, if you are a person who has access to Apple Arcade, I would just pay the $6.99 for like a month of Apple Arcade and try it out that way.
Yeah.
I pay for Apple Arcade by the year, but I play a lot of games on Apple Arcade. So, because I think the yearly subscription is like $50. But I play enough games. I put in enough hours on the games that I play through Apple Arcade that it makes sense for me, because I play like Stardew Valley, Dreamlight Valley, and well, now Wildflowers. I also play like Cooking Mama and a couple other like mobile style games on there. So yeah, but I did make it to page 62 of Quicksilver. I'm really enjoying this book regardless of what format I read it in, because I've read some of this in like ebook format as well. And I've enjoyed it that way also. I also have Magic Lies and Deadly Pies that I could read, but I'm probably not going to do a lot of physical reading tonight, if I'm honest.
That makes sense.
So I'll probably just stick to what I have. Let's see. We're going to read through the comments really quick, and then we're going to go over to Jess's channel. Hello, Melissa.
We're going to go to Amy's channel.
Or what did I say, Jess? I meant Amy.
Yeah. Jess just panicked if Jess is still here, because Jess isn't supposed to go till tomorrow afternoon.
Hours from now. Amy's channel. Hello, Melissa. Reading How to Read a Book by Monica Wood. Wonderful. Hello to Sadia. 30% into my book. Wonderful. Amy took a shower and found her mouse.
Congratulations.
Sabrina did some chauffeuring for her children and made 72%. And Sherry is on page 331 of Clockwork Princess. Wonderful. Glenda's on page 137 of This Town is on Fire. And Amy panicked a little. She was like, hold on. I thought y'all were coming over here, not to Jess's channel. We're going to Amy's channel.
I gotcha, Amy.
If you're following the playlist, it'll take you straight over there as soon as Amy goes live. Like, you shouldn't need to do literally anything. Margaret, do you have anything that you want to share, shout out on your channel?
If anyone is interested in our fantasy bingo, I just posted a video for that today. And if you would be so kind, if you're doing our fantasy bingo, if you would be so kind to go and comment a prompt that you're still looking for a book for, or that you would like to have more options for, I would very much appreciate that as well.
Wonderful. I am going to go watch that. It's on my watch later. I'm not doing our fantasy bingo, but I like watching everybody's videos.
Yeah. I mean, there were some really interesting books that I found / am going to be getting to. So if you're looking for fantasy books, it's a great. There's a lot of fantasy, sci-fi, and horror that I did for that one.
Wonderful. Ashley read another 41 pages. Yes, I'm so sorry, Sherry. Clockwork Prince. I keep saying Clockwork Princess because I look at it and I immediately say princess because that's a book too, right?
Clockwork Princess book 2, that's the one that has Jim on the cover. You remember that Clockwork Princess is the final book because it has Tessa on the cover.
Right.
And she knew she wanted to title it that, and she also knew that that was going to be the only one that she was allowed to put Tessa on the cover of if that was the case.
Right.
And
Yeah.
technically, Tessa should have been on the cover of Clockwork Angel, but she had the whole series plotted out and had already had this conversation with her publisher.
Right. Okay,
Cool.
so also Christina did not read. Totally fine. Steph scrolled a little and is just chilling tonight. Also totally fine. You're welcome, Christina. Thanks for hanging out. And Melissa read 31 pages and got to 233 of 294 of how to read a book. Wonderful. Do I have anything to shout out on my channel? There's a new book and coffee chat up on my channel if you haven't already watched that. There's also an episode 1 that came out last week. These videos will come out every week on Tuesdays. My goal is noon CST, which would be 1 o'clock EST on Tuesdays. Those videos will come out from here on out. I've kind of figured out how I'm going to film them and stuff in order to have them come out on Tuesday afternoon. If I can get them up earlier than that, then I may move them to 8 a.m. If I can get them filmed on Monday, I may start scheduling them for 8 a.m. Central, which would be 9 a.m. Eastern, because then it's more of a morning thing that you could watch. But since Not Enough Spoons goes up on Mondays, I don't want them to go up on Mondays.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is the playlist for the 24-hour sprints for this month. Christina did not read, but her son finished Caraval. I hope he loved it. I have that, and I have to get to it at some point this year. Remember to hydrate, have a snack, check laundry, take your meds, stretch, and show some love to the like button. Also, make sure you sub and ring that bell so you hopefully get notified. Thank you, Christina. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna jump over to We're gonna jump over to Amy's channel now. Good Lord, it is much too early in the evening for me to be not able to speak.
I mean, we say this every time, so is it really too early in the evening?
Yay! I mean, truly, probably not. It is 10 o'clock where I am.
Yeah, it's 11 p.m. where I am.
My brain is shutting down. You know what I mean? But we're gonna go over to Amy's channel. Are you coming over there, Margaret, or are you going to bed?
I will be over there depending on how long we talk, I'll be over there for the first sprint. And then I have to get in bed. Otherwise, I will not be awake for my time that I'm supposed to be sprinting.
That's fair. Okay, so we will see y'all over there in a few minutes. Let me not just leave the studio. That would be embarrassing for you and me. And we'll see you over at Amy's in about 3 minutes. Goodbye.